chord to A minor, this is only one finger movement, so you have to be careful. You have to make sure that you're not moving the other two fingers away from the fretboard. That is okay. You just play downstrokes 1, 2, 3, 4, change 1, 2, 3, 4, change 1, 2, 3, 4. That's all right. Now, A minor, this is A minor, second string first fret, fourth string second fret, third string second fret, right? Now if you shift the whole thing up by one string each finger goes up by one string. This is an E major, and if you remove this first finger, index finger, while you're playing the E major, then you get the E minor. The point here is, if you're trying from A minor to E minor, for example, you make sure that these two fingers, the middle and the ring, move as a unit. Like you should be able to feel this ring finger touching the middle finger there. And why I'm telling this is, like, for example, people try to do it one after the other. It's definitely time waste, and there is no need to do that, especially because the form is the same. A minor to E minor, yeah, and then E major is just a matter of adding the first finger. You can do like 2, 3, 4, E minor, E minor, 1, 2, 3, 4, E minor, E major, E major, E major, and slowly reduce the time you need between E minor and E major. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, good, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. An important thing you have to notice that I'm not moving my fingers too far away from the fretboard. See, if I'm changing from A minor to E minor, it's almost like I'm just lifting enough to shift my finger from this string to the other one. This is very important. You don't remove your fingers far away from the fretboard, because then actually you have to hurry up to bring it to the needed fret. So remember this, you move it as a unit, then move your index finger not too far away from the fretboard, keep it. Even these, when you are moving it as a unit, also move them only far away from the string enough so that you can conveniently shift to the other strings. This is important. Okay, now let us try E major to A major. E major, A major is basically, you have these two fingers again, the middle and the ring finger stays in the same form with respect to each other. E major, or let us say E minor, for example. This is E minor. Without the index finger, this is E minor. With the index finger on the third string first fret, it is E major. These two fingers, pull it down, add your little finger. Again, remember, be prepared with your little finger. Don't keep it too far away. Keep it like good. Naturally, this finger has a tendency to move farther away from the fretboard than when compared to the others. But 3, 4, move as a unit in the middle and ring. Put the pinky. 1, 2, 3, 4, unit, pinky. 1, 2, 3, 4, unit. Unit. Good. Next. E minor or E major, let us say E major to G major we want to play. E major, what I am doing is I am thinking of this index and middle fingers as a unit. It's a very similar form, although the number of you have to skip one string when you're playing the E major. One string is skipped between the index and the middle fingers, while on the G major there is no string skip. It's a very similar form though, because it's on the first fret, index finger is on the first fret here, and middle is on the second fret. Here it is just on the second and third fret, that's all. And one thing about G major is, if you're playing starting with the downstroke on the G major, this first string third fret is, at least for the time being, the least priority, because we have to make sure this is in position, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, only the first string is just the sixth string that you hit on a downstroke. So E major, move this index and middle as a unit. If you feel like you don't have the power, you don't feel some place where you can push to get the change, remember that you have your thumb and your grip behind you. Remember it, that's all. Like, remember you have the thumb, change. And when you do this kind of exercises, try to make sure that you don't make too many mistakes. In the sense, wait, really think about what the change that you have to make, move. 8 out of 10 try to make it without mistake, because we are trying to give some memory for the muscles. And then you can use your little finger here or your ring finger. Again, the thing about keeping your fingers prepared comes into place. Shift the index and middle, and then you have the ring here already to put down there, or you have the little finger, for example. Yeah. Keep them prepared, like it's one possibility, or it's another possibility. I've also seen people, for example, when you have to people play like this. This is a G major also. My index finger is free. The middle ring and little fingers are in place. This is in a way advantageous if you want to shift, for example, from G to C, which is there in so many songs. This is G, this is G, and the ring and middle fingers, you just have to shift them down by, again as a unit, down by one string, put your index finger there. Middle finger unit, unit, then G to D also works, because I have seen people find it easier to think of these two as a unit, which move down to play the D and then add the finger like. This seems to be working for. I usually play it the other way, without using the pinky, but then it's about, yeah, there are no common places around. So if you find this useful, try this one without using the index finger. Middle ring and little finger, and then the middle and ring have the same shape. You just skip through all the strings and come till the middle finger is on the first string. Then you add the third string second fret. That's it. Yeah. Works. These are actually chord changes which you will encounter in real life. For example, there are so many songs with E minor G, E minor G, D, C, or the other way, like for example C,